We're coming in hot with inspiring guests, witty banter, and colorful commentary for today's veterans and military community. This is the Tango Alpha Lima podcast.
They call me crazy cause I'm facing all my giants. They try to scare me into thinking I can fight it. They tell me I should never even think of trying. But that's just me, I'm gonna live out in defiance.
All right, Alphas, I hope that you are digesting all of your Thanksgiving. You've had plenty of turkey, of stuffing, and you got to hang out with your family. I know that I'm still working through leftovers. My husband made, no joke, 19 turkeys, which I'll be honest is too many. It's too many turkeys. I'm good for turkey for the rest of the year. So hopefully that's not what you're trying to work through. I had to buy 4 extra refrigerators. Amy, how was your Thanksgiving?
Oh, I had a wonderful time, but it's back to the routine, and so working off that turkey out on a run, following your motivation, running every day.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah. But hey, now we're moving into the holidays, and that's really the time that everyone rolls up their sleeves. The American Legion's annual holiday blood drive is November 23rd through December 31st. And during this time, the American Legion family members are encouraged to give blood and host blood drives as part of the American Legion Blood Donor Program, an organizational effort that has existed since 1946 to help a life-saving cause, giving blood. As an organization, the American Legion is one of the American Red Cross's top donors. During the 2021/22 membership year, we collected more than 92 units. Individual Legion members can participate by giving blood and reporting it to their posts, which mark the donation on their annual consolidated posts reports. Posts that host blood drives mark their participation on their consolidated post reports, listing number of drives held and total numbers of pints donated. Legionnaires can give blood by making an appointment for a donation at the American Red Cross website. Posts are interested in hosting drives can set up a blood drive by visiting the Red Cross's blood drive registration page. Members and posts can also contact the American Association of Blood Banks, their local American Blood Commission, or American Blood Resources Association, or the Council of Community Blood Centers. Local hospitals and medical doctors can also help coordinate community blood drives. And you can learn more at legion.org/security/blood. We'll have the link in our show notes, of course, and you can learn more on the Legion's website. Just type in security and blood drive. You'll find everything you need there. So have you ever given blood, Ashley?
Oh yeah, I've given blood. I gave blood with the American Legion at the conference. We gave blood, and so you had mentioned 92 units. It's 92,000 units.
Yes. Okay. Yes. 92,000 units. That's
massive.
That's an amazing effort.
Right.
And
the URL, the web address for it is a little intense. Legion.org/security/blood. Okay, vampires. But yeah, we gave blood out at the National Convention, and I loved it. Anything that gives me free snacks and people are all over you. They're like, oh my God, thank you for being here. You lay down. I live streamed it, didn't pass out. And then I got, they sent me a gift card to my email for $10 for Amazon. Not the American Legion, the Red Cross did. And then they tell you what your blood type is, and they tell you where it went. And I think mine went to Alabama. Tells you what hospital it went to. So I'm into it. I like it.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. I mean, it's something people can do. It doesn't cost anything. And in some cases, you actually get paid for it, but it just makes you feel good to be able to know that you are helping your fellow citizens. And if you should ever need it, you want that blood to be there for you as well. And so it's so great that the American Legion partners with the American Red Cross, who are the leaders of our country in doing this and making sure that everyone has the chance. And those dates run from, now and through December 31st. So from now until the end of the year, massive blood drives. At local posts and where you can find a blood drive, you just go and give blood. It's awesome.
Great, great. Awesome. And I don't know if he's ever done it, but our guest today, he's a nice guy. I bet he did donate blood at some point in his life. Today, we'll be joined by Air Force veteran PT Bratton, founder and CEO of Clean Comedy Connection. PT combines his advocacy for comedy as a mental health wellness strategy with producing clean comedy experiences all over the country. We'll be right back with my friend PT after the break.
Okay.
This season, give back with the American Legion. You can donate to our American Legion Veterans and Children Foundation and join in on the fun with Chip Ganassi Racing. Visit legion.org to donate today.
Welcome back, Alphas. I hope you're doing great. I hope you had a great day, and it continues. I'm going to have a great day because I get to talk to my buddy, fellow comedian, PT Bratton. How are you, PT?
Good.
Good. Happy to have you here. And my other good friend, Amy Forsyth. How are you, Amy?
Hey, good to see you guys. Wonderful to be here. I know you guys probably have your friends, you cross paths, but maybe we can throw out some jokes and make people laugh today.
Yeah, let's do it. Well, Amy, you want to kick us off with the first question?
Yeah, PT, you've taken your talents and your humor to the next level, and we just love to see how people can really enjoy themselves. But what would you tell people out there who also are looking to do what you're doing, and what's your secret to success?
Oh, God is the secret to my success. That's a secret sauce. No, I mean, I feel like there is definitely someone at work directing my steps, ordering my steps. I stumbled across an organization called Armed Services Arts Partnership, ASAP for short. And it was at a low time in my life when I had just got laid off from my job. And I went to a comedy show prior to the layoff with my wife, and we saw a comedian who had only been doing comedy for like 2 months, and she got up there and did a tight five and was amazing. So afterwards, I'm talking to her. I'm like, wow, how is it that you just started doing comedy and you're so professional? She said, well, I went through this comedy boot camp for veterans. I'm like, what? there's such a thing? She's like, yeah, you should sign up. So I did. And I took that course, and it gave me the foundation of joke writing and joke telling. So the performance side as well. And it's just been amazing. It's been an amazing ride. Like the opportunities I've been presented with to do comedy. I did comedy at the White House. I'm like, who there's a lot of comics that have been doing it way longer than me, and they haven't had that opportunity. So it's just been a blessing, and I can't take any credit for it. I'm just trying to walk through the open door. That's all I'm trying to do.
Walk through it, take it. Well, take us back a little bit. You were in the Air Force for like a decade, right?
Yes, it didn't feel like that. It didn't feel like I was in that long, but time passes quickly. I was just going to do 4 and get out, and then I got orders to Turkey. I loved it in Turkey. I was like, oh, wow, maybe I could do some more time. And then I got stationed at Langley in Virginia. I was raised in Virginia, born in Jersey. So I was like, oh, wow. Okay, now I'm this is the base I wanted first. I wanted to be at Langley. My first duty station was Great Falls, Montana. I did not.
No,
that was nowhere, nowhere on my dream sheet. But I feel like it was a rite of passage. Like everyone had to go to either Grand Forks, Great Falls, or what's the one in Wyoming?
Minot. Oh, well, there's Minot is in North Dakota, but Cheyenne is
F.E. Warren.
Yeah.
So it's F.E. Warren, Malmstrom, and Minot. Like that was the top 3. And it's like they shuttled people to those places. And if you can make it through that first duty station, then we're going to give you some good stuff. So that's kind of how it went, right? So Langley was that was my dream duty station. But then 9/11 hit, and I was stationed at Langley, and then everyone was stop loss. So you couldn't get out, you couldn't cross train. It was interesting. So when they did let us cross train, I went from security forces to investigations. And so now I owe the military more time because I'm like, that was the catch, right? You cross train, but now you got to give it some years. So
we trained you.
Yeah, we got to get our money's worth out of you. So I wound up my next duty station. I was in Japan, which was like really cool. I wanted to be in Japan, Tokyo, down there, the hustle and the bustle. They sent me to Misawa. Again, Uncle Sam got me. He was like, there's another place in Japan. It counts. I was like, no, it's more like being in Russia. Japan and Misawa is
I'm
like,
going there this year. It's cold. What are you saying?
What time are you going? Are you going in the winter time? Please tell me not in the winter.
February.
Okay, so there's going to be a lot of snow.
Oh, PT, save me.
A lot of snow, Ashley. Get ready. And they don't pave their streets. Or shovel. They don't shovel the streets in Misawa. You know how we shovel it here and put like chemical down to break down the ice?
Yeah.
No, they may shovel it, but if they do, they like to leave that thin layer of ice. It adds to the adventure.
That's what you like. Okay, great. I'm just gonna embrace the culture. That's all. I've decided.
My wife, look, so I had a little Suzuki sidekick in Misawa, and she had the sidekick out there doing donuts in the street, not on purpose, just because she got on that ice. And I mean, 460, 480, like whatever. She just, it's crazy. Like some of the streets are actually heated. That's pretty cool in Japan. So it melts the ice. But then there's a lot of the road in Misawa, because it's country, that it's not. So yeah, that's going to be a fun adventure for you. There's probably going to be snow on the ground, a lot of snow on the ground, piles of snow. Yeah, but I loved it there. I met my wife in Japan, so I can't complain. Cannot complain. Yep.
Well, you guys both are, you have a lot of material to pull from with military topics and experience, right? If you couldn't laugh at it, we'd all be crying and going absolutely mad, right? But you were able to turn your military experience and, launch, well, we say overnight success, 20 years in the making. But you've been featured on NBC, CBS, the CW, and even performing at the historic Kennedy Center. You're the founder and CEO of A Clean Comedy Connection. But what do you think that, focusing on mental health, what gives you the greatest sense of pride and really to bring to people laughter? Or were you joking while you were in the military? Were you the one keeping everybody laughing and in good spirits?
Yeah, I mean, that's my personality. I'm always trying to be positive, and I was pretty much the guy in the unit that tried to keep it. Sometimes things go wrong, and you just got to have somebody on the team that's going to help you power through it. And we're going to get through it. Let's if we can look on the bright side of things. But I think the most rewarding thing for me is whenever I do a show and you have somebody come up to you and they're like, I really needed that. Like this past Veterans Day weekend, we did a show in Manassas, and after the show, one of the vets came up to me and he was like, I really needed this. I really needed this laugh. I needed this show, this experience. And that really hit me hard, because sometimes you get caught up in the logistics of putting on a show and what didn't go right, and what joke I didn't tell right, or what tag did I miss. But in the big picture, you're helping people. Like, you don't know what they're dealing with. You don't know what they're struggling with. The veteran suicide numbers are just way too high. And if we can help just a little bit, to give people hope, to give them enough to just make it another day, I think we're making a positive impact. So that's huge for me. That's stuff that keeps me going. I told my wife, I said, that'll keep me going for a couple months. Just that one person saying, I needed this.
Yeah, write it
I
down.
bet, Ashley, you get that too. And, it probably is what keeps you guys both going and wanting to make people laugh.
Oh yeah, it's super nice when people come and tell you, how it impacted them in a way, because in a lot of ways comedians are dead inside. So it's good when we meet regular people.
who still have emotion left in their, not totally jaded.
Right. Exactly. PT, you're a clean comedian. Why are you a clean comedian?
Why? Because my mom would not approve of me doing anything else. I'm a mama's boy, but no, I've also, that's just who I am. Like, Ashley, we've been on the road together. I don't curse in my regular life. So why would I get on stage and do something that's not me? When I'm on stage, it's just an extension of who I am. So it's like me to the 10th power, but that's me essentially. So I just don't, that's just not me. I tried to curse when I was younger. It didn't sound right. It just, have you ever met that person that tries to cuss and you just
that's a little weird.
Yeah, just leave it alone. That doesn't even sound right coming out of your mouth. Like, Ashley, like if you were to cuss, I'd be like, what? That would be, it was just, it's just like,
where'd that come from?
Yeah. So, and then even talking about things that are kind of raunchy, just knowing my background, being a preacher, they were like, really? So you're gonna get on stage and do that? And I think the topics we can talk about, like, Ashley, I've seen you do it too. Like, we can talk about certain material, but in a way that's not raunchy. Like, and you can still get at it and you can still get the laughs. It's just a different approach.
Yeah.
Do you see a lot of kids or younger comedians coming up, veterans say, who want to take that route? And do you give them any, advice or guide them into what's best for them?
Oh, so if they're veterans that want to pursue comedy and stand up, I used to say go for it. Now I say don't do it. I say run from it. Don't. No, I teach a class now, the same class that taught me. I'm actually an instructor for the comedy bootcamp course, and we just had a graduating class, and at the end they always ask, we have a Q&A, hey, and just any questions, nothing's off limits. And one of the students like, hey, I want to do this is what I want to do with my life. Do you have any advice for me? And I'm like, yeah, don't do it. Don't. And for the next 5 minutes I try to talk out of it. Yeah, I'm like, don't keep your day job. Don't do
keep your day job. Oh my God.
Yeah, no, I'm like, don't quit your job. Don't. And so I'm teaching with another veteran who's been through comedy boot camp, and afterwards he's like, man, you kind of went hard on him. I said, yeah. I said, I want them to. I don't want them to be disillusioned to think that what happened for me is typical, right? So, because a lot of times people look at you, they look at Ashley like, oh, okay, she was on TV, yeah, the Tonight Show, okay, Jerry Seinfeld, boom, that's what I want to do. Whoa, like there's a lot that happened between Ashley starting comedy and Ashley arriving to where she is today, and same for me. So I just wanted to give them the real deal. Like, it's a lot of ups and downs. It's a lot of non-glamorous stuff that's involved in this journey. Yeah. So
you're waiting in a lot of really disgusting bathrooms. Like, comedy clubs are gross. They have gross bathrooms. I don't know why. If I could just start a comedy club just to give it a nice bathroom, or somehow I've been in some nice green rooms at least, but some, especially when you're in bars, and then where you perform the Kennedy Center next night, and then the next night you're at some bar. And you're just like, this is humbling. This is what we do. Yes,
absolutely. I've had that. And you got to fight the feeling to say that on the microphone. I've learned that. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't disrespect the place you're in just because you were just at the Warner Theater with like 700 people and now you're at a bar with 7 people paying attention to you. You just it is what it is. It's so, like, sometimes it can be soul draining. Like, you worked hard to prepare your jokes, and then you have people that are not paying attention. I mean, like, talking loudly while you're trying to perform, and you're like, wow, they don't care that you've been at the White House. They don't care. They're like,
they don't care about anything themselves.
No,
usually,
this is a friend of mine. I want to talk to him about something. It's like,
hey. Different room.
Yeah, right. It's like, I'm interrupting your conversation. That's fine. Okay. So I don't know if I answered the question.
You have comedy show coming up. Can you tell us a little bit more about your welcome for my service?
Oh yeah, so that was my debut comedy special. We recorded that on Veterans Day. I thought it was so fitting. My wife suggested that we do it at the place that we've been doing comedy. We do a monthly comedy show at this place called Veterans Growing America. It's in Woodbridge, Virginia. It's a great spot that showcases veteran-owned businesses. So it gives them a space where they can come and they can sell and promote their business. And we've been doing monthly shows there. So she was like, "Hey, if you're gonna do it, if you're gonna do it on Veterans Day," she's like, "You got to do it here." So it marked our 1 year anniversary partnership with them, and we had like 130 people. My goal was 100, so I was pleasantly surprised, and the crowd was great. The comedians that went on were awesome from top to bottom, everything amazing. Now, granted, there's always Murphy, and there were things that didn't go right, but I've learned to look at the big picture, and it was great. The takeaway was great. People were a lot of people didn't know me. They came because, hey, it's Veterans Day and they got a comedy show. So for them to be like, "Oh, this is worth it," like, not to be like, "Wow, dog, okay, I could have been at Applebee's or or Chili's or wherever they're getting their free meal from." It was really good. It was really good experience. My youngest son, he dabbles in stand up. And he did a short set before I got up, and he did an amazing job. I'm so proud of him. He was so nervous. He was about as nervous as I was before the show. I'm like, "You want to pray? You want to pray together?"
He's like, "Yeah, Dad, yeah."
But he went out there and just killed the whole situation, and I was like, "This dude, he's going to be somebody, like, for real." Like, and then, not to be outdone, my oldest son, he is more of a behind the scenes guy. So he helped with a lot of like the jokes, the lineup when I'm working on my set list. He worked to help me with the shot list, like the act outs. Like he was instrumental. I'm like, I just couldn't do it without him. It was a couple of jokes my wife had never heard before. And she's like, "Oh, that's new." I said, "Yeah, I worked that out with our oldest son." So that was really cool. That she was like, "That was good." I'm like, so I got like a little writer in the making that's helping me out. Yeah, it was great. It was great. So be on the lookout. That should be out sometime next year. So yeah, I'm real excited about that milestone.
Super neat. And you're the founder and CEO of Clean Comedy Connection.
Yes.
What's the mission there?
So, I mean, to provide clean comedy experiences that are top notch for corporate and nonprofit and community organizations, because there's a growing need for a comedy. People are seeing the value in it. And because I'm a clean comedian, it makes sense that I help provide that for these organizations. Because, like, if you're talking about churches or corporate shows, they need you to be clean. And they don't often know where to go to find clean comedians. But being a comedian myself, I know comedians. So
you know the ones that don't just say they can be clean.
That exactly.
A lot pretend like they can be.
Exactly.
It's bad. Then the company never hires you again. But companies also, they get super nervous. They think, "Oh, we're hiring a comedian." They're going to just start saying, anything that's going to be super offensive. You're like, "No, I would never say that. No."
They do get nervous, and a lot of times they request videos, they was like, and then they still ask you 15,000 questions because they don't want to be embarrassed. And so I saw a need for that, to be like, okay, well, I have a network. It's a small network of comedians that I know that perform and work clean. That I've worked with them in the past, and based off of their budget. And that's why I tell a lot of people, okay, if you got a little more money, I got some higher level comedians I can connect you with. But if you got a little bit of money, I got some comedians that are just starting out, that are still funny, and that can because a lot of times they don't even know what the budget looks like. Like, I want, "Hey, Ashley, I've seen your videos. I want you to come and do 2 hours, and we got a budget of $300. And you're like, "What?"
But a lot of times they'll want an hour, and I'm like, you don't want an hour. You don't want an hour. You want 20 to 30 minutes. And then you want them to go bingle. That's what they really want.
Yes, that's the thing. Like a lot of times when they have these events, they don't even. So a lot of it is consulting, really. You know, when people say they want it, like you said, the standard answer, people like an hour. I'm like, no, you don't want that. That's a special. Like you're not doing that at a banquet dinner. Oh well, while they're eating, you can get up and tell. That's not how. We're not doing magic tricks. Like we need people's undivided attention. That's tough to do that much time. I just did one for a rather large corporation, and they had craps tables, and they had the gambling set up in the back for when they're done eating. And I'm like, so I'm standing between them and a good time, basically. Like I'm standing between, like,
right.
The longer I talk, and you've given them these tickets where they can get. They only have to spend their own money. Like they got this play money, so like they get to gamble with money that doesn't belong to them. And I'm like, it was just, and you put me between them. That's like saying, hey, before we feed y'all, let's listen to this comic for an hour. No,
for an hour. Oh, God. Oh, it's the word. You just give it me flashbacks. Some of because it's just some are so bad. I had one. I showed up. They told me that I had to be clean, and I am clean just in general. And it turned out to be a take your kid to work day. So it was mostly kids, like under 5.
Oh wow!
No.
Wow. Have you ever had somebody try to break up the comedy? I had that happen a couple times. They're like, hey, yeah, we're going to have you do about 15 minutes, and then we're going to eat, and then we're going to bring you back up to do 15. No, you're not going to keep me all day. You're not going to do that. That's what you're not going to do.
Come back on. We're going to take a break halfway through. Then you're going to do a raffle. You're going to raffle off these TVs, and you're like, oh my God.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh,
but yeah,
you guys. Well, so in addition to the business of comedy, you really are running your own business here. And I'm on your website, Clean Comedy Connection. Ready, set, laugh. I love it. You've done a lot of performance for big companies and touched a lot of people with being a veteran, and now you're giving back by showcasing that for other folks and helping them along the way. But how is the American Legion, a part of that equation for you?
Well, the partnership with American Legion came through Robin Phoenix Johnson, her organization. Best Medicine Brigade, and also Operation Hilarious. I was one of the judges for our tour to find America's funniest veteran and or military spouse. Right? That's the name? I think.
Yeah. And we had one veteran that won and one military spouse that won. So it all evened out.
It worked out, right? That's awesome. It was a great ride. I was fortunate to be one of the judges, and we hit, I don't know how many different cities. I lost track.
9, I think.
Was it 9?
Yeah, it was a lot.
Culminating in LA and Vegas. It was amazing. And the American Legion was one of the big sponsors for that tour. So yeah, I think the mission for the American Legion, trying to get at this big issue of veteran suicide, is one I wholeheartedly support. And anything we could do to keep people here. There's purpose. There's being here, and sometimes we lose sight of that when we separate. And so I know everyone's not going to be a stand-up comedian, but I found my purpose in helping people laugh. And part of my mission is to help other people find their purpose so that they can stay here. You know what I mean? Like they have a reason for being here. They feel like they have a reason for being here, because no one needs to check out early.
Totally.
PT. Yeah, that's wonderful. But tell us next, you said your special is streaming next year. You're welcome for my service streaming. Where can people find that?
So you want to just go to my website, because we're in the process of getting those deals inked. But if you want to stay in the loop, you can go to ptbratton.com and subscribe to my newsletter, and that way you'll be abreast of where and when the special is going to be released.
Yeah, it sounds. And where else can they find you?
Oh, on social media platforms, everyone except for TikTok because China. And
Good for
all
you.
the platforms at PT Bratton. That's same across all the platforms.
PT Bratton, that's 2 T's. I guess it's technically
2 T's.
3 T's. So
Yes.
Bratton, 2 T's.
Well, yeah.
Well, it's awesome to talk to you. I know we're friends, so we can talk all day. But I hope you'll come back, and everybody go check out PT's new special. You're welcome for my service next year.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I want to come see a show. If you come to California, I will be there.
Also, I'll definitely let you know. Thank you for having me. I enjoyed myself.
Thank you so much. Keep up the amazing work and inspiring and keeping us laughing.
Excellent. And all right, Alphas, stick with us. We'll be right back after the break.
The American Legion is raising awareness about PTSD and veteran suicide by offering hope, camaraderie, and support.
Be the one to help end veteran suicide.
Be the one to save one veteran.
Be the one to ask a veteran in your life how they're doing.
Be the one to reach out when a veteran is struggling.
Go to betheone.org and help the American Legion end veteran suicide.
Will you be the one?
All right, Amy, what did you think of PT? I've known him for a while. A super cool, nice guy. What did you think?
Oh, I love it. I can't wait to see a show. I hope he comes to California, or I can find him somewhere. But I love it when people really follow their passion, and it sounds like he's just really made this work for him, and he's the one in the unit that's always making people laugh, and he's taken that to the next level and really now inspiring the next generation. So good for him. I loved it when a veteran succeeds, we all succeed.
Yeah, and he's just a super nice, funny family guy, and if you're in an area with him, check out his website and go and try to see one of his shows, because he's super cool. So maybe we can all go together.
Yeah. And we'll look for you too, because, you guys, I'm sure, cross paths and,
oh yeah,
the veteran comedy circuit, right?
Yeah, we spent the last year together, so he might be sick of me. Well, no, I don't know.
Getting bonding closer and closer together.
Yeah, exactly. Well, now we're heading into my favorite segment. It's rapid fire. All right, Amy, what do you got for us this week?
I've got to put on my glasses. Thanks. From Military Times, the headline is "Military Spouses Bring Skills, Flexibility to Workforce, Veterans Say," because spouse employment is so important. And I didn't realize how important it is until I got one of those things called a spouse. And so in the military, it's one of the most pressing concerns for military families. As the cost of living rises, you need 2 incomes really to survive. So we talked about this over the weekend, a Veterans Day weekend. Veterans on a panel at the MCON convention in Las Vegas that focused on military and veteran culture discussed the value of spouses in the workplace, as well as the reasons they seek employment. Quote, "Some Army families are now considering leaving service as a result in line to income," said Eric Eversole, president of Hiring Our Heroes. "We as a country need to wake up that way we take care of families. It's going to be critically important to maintain that all volunteer force, because before too long, military families were forced to rely on one income, and they can't keep doing that," end quote. According to veteran Tiffany Doherty, who is also a military spouse and is now head of military talent for Johnson & Johnson, military spouses are the bedrock of their family as emotional support, but also financial providers. They bring tremendous skills, just like service members. And they have a set of unique skills, she noted. "Nobody understands how to be the glue of a team like a military spouse does when I work with them." And, I think people are now realizing that military spouses need stable employment, and it's hard to go from job to job to job, moving around the country. They can never really build up their skills, as and you know this as well with, military spouses.
Huge. And it's not just the income that they get, the immediate income, it's the long term. They don't end up with any retirement. They end up in bad situations if they could be in a marriage that is not working out, and then they're stuck. They don't have any retirement, Social Security, any of that stuff. It's all linked to the person that they've spent their life supporting. So I'm glad to see that we're working hard on trying to get they're with Hiring Our Heroes. They have that new program where they're it's got an interesting acronym. I'd have to look it up, but it's basically the accelerator pilot, where they're taking military spouses and they're pushing them through to try to get them jobs. And it's at the beginning of it, so we're working out all the issues, but it's a step in the right direction, I think.
Yeah. And, I was fortunate enough to attend the MCON conference in Las Vegas over Veterans Day weekend. And American Legion is a proud supporter of that. And so it was just really great. It's the first year, so it's going to, grow every year, but great turnout, lots of partners out there looking to help not just the military veteran, but also their spouses and their families. And so it was a great way to bring people together to talk about these issues and have conversations that really matter to everyone.
Absolutely. So it's great. We're keeping it going, moving it, making it better for the next generation. Let's go to rapid fire number 2. Influencers in uniform are boosting recruiting, Pentagon says. This is from Defense One. The Pentagon's efforts to recruit more young Americans into the armed forces are receiving a boost from service members with large online followings, the Deputy Secretary of Defense said during an event hosted by the Center for a New American Security. U.S. Deputy Secretary of Defense Kathleen Hicks said that when it comes to the department's Gen Z-focused military recruitment initiatives on social media, where we've seen the most success is with "I feel so out of my lane here" influencers. Hicks said digital content from genuine service members on their own, such as videos on YouTube, are resonating with younger viewers, particularly posts that are less overt in their recruitment tactics. Service members describing a day in their life, talking about whatever, going out to get fast food, but in uniform, whatever it is. Those are widely popular because I think youth are looking for authenticity, Hicks said. And I see this in my buddies. We got Sergeant Butterworth. He's a National Guard recruiter. He's got a big following now. Gunny Sergeant McCain, Marines. CO Young Guns, Marines. Sergeant Williams, Marines. They told me that because we've worked together on social media stuff, that we made 2 Marine officers, and there was at least 3 Marines that came out of social media posts, which is so awesome. That's hard to do. And the fact that these people are out there day in, day out and trying to make it happen, I love it. And I love watching their stuff.
I love it too. And they have such a powerful voice. You could be an E5 sergeant or, a petty officer, but have tens of thousands of followers. So it's really flipped the script on what influence and impact means. It's not necessarily tied to your rank. And so it's flattened that information space so people can showcase their military lifestyle and attracting that target audience. And so I think by adopting some of this and integrating it into, the recruiting efforts, you pay $500 million for a recruiting campaign. You'd better start using some people who have actual followings, like the Navy, is trying to reach a wider, diverse audience and using some of these folks that have a huge following. I think it's a step in the right direction. You just have to be mindful of who's doing what, who's saying what, and people are always looking, whether it's young people or some of those original influencers like high school coaches, football, sports team coaches, high school principals. Those people also are influencing, but if they see you or they see me or they see other influencers out there who might recommend military service to their students or their athletes, it could really help in bringing in that top talent that they're always looking for in the military.
Yeah, totally. All right.
Okay, so let's do our next story here. Oh, I love this. Meet Maverick, this year's winner of the American Humane Hero Dog Award. American Humane announced the winner of this year's Hero Dog Award on Good Morning America, and the 2023 the American Humane Hero Dog is Maverick, a 6-year-old Great Dane from St. Robert, Missouri. Maverick was nominated in the therapy category for his work with the USO, where he helps members of the armed services and their families at Fort Leonard Wood. He's more than a mascot, though. Maverick's handler and base USO manager Kelly Brownfield described his work on sensitive requests. These are the biggest jobs once perhaps only a Great Dane could shoulder. Jobs like providing comfort for kids burying a parent or standing vigil over a service member struggling with thoughts of suicide. As Brownfield put it, Maverick carries the weight of our nation's heroes' traumas, emotions, and injuries, offering solace and comfort. As of September, Maverick had completed a total of 246 sensitive requests in his life. 61 were from this year alone. Fittingly, Maverick wears a vest decorated with military pins and patches from folks he's helped over the years. Oh, I just love that.
So cute.
Oh, dogs have such an amazing impact on our lives. And Maverick, congratulations.
You did it.
Yeah.
Hero dog. I want to pet him. I want to pet you, Maverick.
Yeah. Good for him.
Well, it's been great hanging out with you this week. I feel like I still need a nap after Thanksgiving, but do you have any shout outs for this week? Anybody you'd like to shout out?
Yeah, that MCon convention in Las Vegas, go find some pictures, read up on it. We're, planning has probably already begun on next year's events, but really just want to remind people about our Be the One podcast as well. Comes out on the 1st of every month, and we're talking about preventing veteran suicide. And so, with the holidays coming up, people are needing some extra motivation, some extra support. They might be alone this holiday season, but there's some ways that we can get plugged in, keep the conversation going, and we'll be here through the holidays with you. But anytime you want to connect with us on social media or reach out through the American Legion, there's plenty of resources out there for you.
Definitely. Invite me over. I will eat all of your candy canes. I love it. Everybody, don't forget to subscribe to this podcast. I tell you every week, Tango Alpha Lima podcast, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you consume this knowledge, these interesting guests that we have. Please leave us a review and give us a big old 5-star rating. Otherwise, I'm going to sneak into your house and I'm going to leave a smoke detector with a battery in it that's slowly dying. Like not right away, but like a little bit dying. So like 6 months from now, you'll be like, beep. Where's that beep coming from? 10 minutes later, beep. This is driving me crazy. It's driving me crazy. And it takes like 2 years for that smoke detector battery to die. That's what I'm going to do if you don't leave us 5 stars. I'm coming for you. We want the world to know how much you love us. If you have a guest recommendation, go to legion.org/Tango Alpha Lima. Click on the suggested guest link. I'm always happy to talk to whoever you want to send our way. Amy, thanks for hanging out with us again this week. Always a pleasure. Alphas, we'll see you next time.